Everybody, welcome back. It is now week 38 of Duffs to Darts, tracking my journey to get from a 20 to a 10 handicap in 10 months to the best of my ability, without a coach, without, a expensive country club membership, without basically everything that you would think you would need to be able to improve your game, doing it on a budget, to the best of my ability. So we have so much to talk to this time for week 38 of Duffs to Darts. So let's go. So as I mentioned, and you guys may have seen it last week in the 9-month recap, is that I had a golf trip last weekend planned to go to 3 different golf courses over the course of 3 days. It's the first time I've ever actually done a golf trip. I've been planning this for a few months, and because we're at the end of this project, I need to log as many rounds as I possibly can. So the first stop of the Duffs to Darts golf getaway weekend was TPC Deer Run. If you guys don't know what that course is, it is the host site of the John Deere Classic. It hosts a PGA tournament every single year. It is the site of Jordan Spieth, I believe, his first PGA win. Bryson DeChambeau's won there, as well as a whole bunch of other top PGA names. It's in Silvis, Illinois. So for me, it was about a 2.5-hour drive to get there. We met up, my father-in-law and I, we met up with Phil, who's in the Golficity group, and he also watches this channel. So Phil, thanks for coming out, buddy, and his co-worker Kevin. And we had an awesome day. It was a little chilly when we got there, maybe like 40 degrees. So I had a beanie, quarter zip on, long sleeve underneath, and by about the 3rd or 4th hole, started to warm up a little bit, took that off, and really when the quarter zip came off, when the skull cap came off and the regular hat and sunglasses were on, it seemed to really help my game. That's usually how I practice. Really practice with a lot of layers on. It's usually inside or in my parking lot at lunch, and I've had warm weather. So as a result, I'm not really practicing in, a lot of layers. Plus I was nervous to get out there and play. So, played the round. I putted very well. There's a couple 3-putts in there. A couple chip shots. What I had never experienced or practiced is really tight lies. All my chipping is usually done at work in drainage ditch areas, so it's thicker grass, not really well manicured. So on those tight lies, it was a little nervous. I'm gonna sneeze, and we're back. So I did chunk a few of those, a little nervous on that. I came in steep on a few of them, and it would just be a thick mound of dirt. But with a couple 3-putts, with some bad chips, leaving my proximity to the hole pretty terrible, I did have some great shots as well. One of the holes particularly had hit into the bunker, took the wrong club. Got out of the bunker, took my medicine, put it in the fairway, and then I was basically hoping to, get it on the green and save bogey. So Steve, my father-in-law, says, jokingly, I'm about 100, 110 yards out. He goes, 2 feet, okay? Sure, no problem. And I actually stuck it inside like 5 feet. Made the putt, got out of there with a nice scrambling par. Really happy about that. Took that momentum to the next hole. It was a par 3. I hit the green in regulation, so I'm about, half a mile away, about 37 feet, and this happened. You can leave it in for me right now, it'd be great.
You want it in? All right.
After this, we can take it out.
All right.
Nice. Boom! Here. Woo! So yeah, as you can see, super excited that I made the putt. That was a long birdie. I've had a few of those this year. Finish up the round. I ended up shooting a 91. That's with 1 lost ball in the first hole. A couple, like I said, some missed chips, some bad putts. So I was really happy with that round. It was a tough course. TPC Deer Run is now my favorite course that I've ever played. I will making it a point that every single year I go back there to play that course. So Phil, get ready to, join me every single year for at least one round at TPC Deer Run. With that, I actually have a separate vlog that I shot for the day when I was there. So take a look on the channel. There's going to be a TPC Deer Run video for that, as well as one for each of the next 2 courses I'm about to talk about. So drove the rest of the way from from Silvis to middle of Iowa to Des Moines, to where my father-in-law lives. And, we had sushi, had some wine, relaxed on the drive, then spent, 5-6 hours in the car that day. And next day, we had Tournament Club of Iowa planned. Weather looked like it was going to be bad. It was in the morning. It was wet. So we'd moved the tee time back from 10 to noon because of rain. It looks like we might have to come up with some alternative plans because it's raining a little bit. It was downpouring, as you see there, and so we saw that was coming, so we pushed the round back to noon. So with that, I put out on the Golf City group, if you guys are a part of that, you would have seen this, that I put all the courses I was going to play, and one of the Golf City Army members, Evan, who lives in the Des Moines, Ankeny area, messaged me, is like, hey, I'd love to join you, and you're damn right, buddy, welcome to the party. So Evan joined us at Tournament Club of Iowa, TCI. We pushed the tee time to noon. It was downpouring all morning. We said, the hell with it, let's drive there. If we can play, if they'll let us out, we'll play. If they say no, we had a contingency plan to go to an indoor simulator, go to Golf Galaxy, and then hit up a range later on that night. We got there, and as we pull into the parking lot, the rain stops. The clouds are still there, it's gray, it's wet, but it wasn't going to rain anymore the rest of the day. Went into the clubhouse. The guy in the clubhouse said, if you want to play, it's just going to be you out there, it's going to be wet, cart path only, not even, cart 90s, straight cart path only. We said, absolutely, we want to play. Went out there, and, same thing, quarter zip on, skull cap on, a little chilly, and by, the 5th hole, the sun starts to come out, it starts to get warm, starts to get pretty humid. Skull cap comes off, quarter zip's coming off, and like an idiot, I forgot my hat and I forgot my sunglasses. Lesson learned, I need sunglasses and a hat to play. It's just something that I'm comfortable doing. It makes me feel comfortable. It helps me see the ball a little bit better. My eyes are weak as hell as far as sensitivity goes with lighting, so I need to make sure that I always have that on me. I usually have a backup pair of sunglasses in my golf bag. I didn't have them in there, so SOL on that. So with Tournament Club of Iowa, it is now my second favorite course I've ever played. This place was absolutely beautiful. A lot of elevation changes, tucked away in the woods and the hills of the greater Des Moines, Ankeny area. Some water hazards, a lot of course management where you would have to hit your tee shot to a particular area. You could maybe hit driver if you wanted to, but if you hit it a little bit short, it would roll into a ravine. If you hit it too long, it was going to go into the woods. So there was, some shot planning. It was a really fun course to play. It was my father-in-law Steve's second time playing it. Evan had played it a few times. My first time, obviously. Ended up losing about 4 balls on the back 9. Hit a really terrible tee shot on the 9th hole after having a lot of confidence. I put it right into a bunker, had to chip out, and then I hit it near the green, and then I hit a really, really bad chip shot. I had to take another drop over there. So Steve ended up getting the better part of me at TCI. I shot 95 there. And again, that's with 4 lost balls, 3 3-putts, bad chipping again. So knowing that I had myself in the opportunities to play well, I just didn't. It was very wet. A couple of times, if you hit the ball fat there at all, that ball just stopped because of just all the water behind it. So again, there'll be a separate vlog for that I have to edit and get out there, so keep an eye for TCI. So Sunday round, this was the 8 o'clock tee time. Supposed to be a nice day, a little cool, but set to be a nice day. Steve and I had the tee time at 8 o'clock. Evan knew we were going to go there, asked if we wouldn't mind if he joined. Absolutely, buddy. Come on down. So we played with Evan both days. Thanks for joining us, bud. It was a good time. Same thing. Next time we play in Iowa, be ready for a call. You're going to be joining that. And then Steve's not a coworker. He works in the building downstairs in the bank. I kept calling him Kevin. It's not his name, but he's Kevin now. That's just how he's going to be known. This guy's a stick. He didn't even play that well that day. Beat me. I'll talk about that in a minute. He beat me by a couple of strokes, but this guy really pounds the ball. Really nice guy. So it was a good time. The course was Otter Creek. It is a link style course. So there was a water hazards, and there were houses basically down every single fairway. So finding your tee shots in the fairway was key. I lost one ball, and that was on a par 5 where Evan told me, you got to stay left on this hole. The fairway runs to the water. Stay left, stay left, stay left. And I hit it in the middle of the fairway. A little bit of a fade on there. I'm like, oh no, we're good. He goes, dude, you're in the water. Yup, I was in the water. So I ended up having to take a drop on that. That was the only ball that I lost on that round. I hit, I think, 71% of the fairways. Greens and regulation was up high as well. I had, I think, 2-3 putts on that round, maybe. And again, bad chipping. I hadn't worked on it a lot due to the weather here, so got to tighten that up. But because I hit so many fairways, I gave myself so many opportunities to score, and I was hitting so many greens in regulation, even with not the best day putting. I ended up shooting my best round that I've ever shot in my life on 18 holes. I shot an 86 at Otter Creek. Yeah, buddy, you heard that right. 86 at Otter Creek. Super happy about that, and even more so the fact that I had some bad 3 putts. I had some bad chips where my proximity to the hole was so terrible where I would hit the green, it would bounce over, and I was close to the pin, and I'd send it further away on my chip shot than I was to begin with. So I ended up having a lot of work to do. So I've been working on that a lot this week. Again, you'll have another vlog for that for Otter Creek, so keep an eye out for that. So that's 3 separate vlogs for the 3 rounds to kind of show the shots, show what the course looked like, and my thoughts during the round. So what's coming up going forward for Duffs of Darts? With Golf City, as you guys know, I write for them. I do product reviews. I just got 2 products in that I'm going to be doing a review on. First one is that I'm going to talk to you about is going to be the Tech GPS watch. So, as you guys know, I've been playing with the ShotScope GPS watch all year, and I've never used a GPS watch before, but this year having my numbers on every single shot, not even having to scope it out, being able to just look down and know front, middle, back, has been a huge addition to my game. It's really made the game, essentially easier, knowing where I'm at. You know what your 7-iron distance is, you just build everything off of that, plus or minus. Each club is about 10 yards. So, 150 into the hole, that's my 7-iron. If it's 170, that's 2. So you go down to, 7, 6, 5. You get the idea. So Tech is Amazon's leading laser GPS site on there. So they sent that out to me. I'm going to be giving that a go next Saturday when I go and I play with my guys at Sub 70. We're going to do a year in review. It's their first year in business as a club company, as a direct-to-consumer. We're going to talk about what they've experienced this year, things that they've learned, things that they want to do better, whole bunch of fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that. And the next thing that I'm going to be working with this week, as far as not only practice but reviews go, is that guy right there. So this is a putting mirror. Just got it in yesterday from Sharper Golf. Again, it's available on Amazon. It's not, a special site you have to go to. You just get it on Amazon. It's a low-cost putting mirror. So I've never used one, but with those, unnecessary putts that I had in the last 3 days, missing some easy ones that I should have made, this is really going to be key this week on practice leading into next Saturday's round with the Sub 70 guys. So that's kind of what I'm doing, preparing for next Saturday. I had a question from somebody, Dollar on Instagram, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly if you're watching this. So I had put up, my scores on Instagram. You guys know my tag on there. It's in there. Here it is again, in case you forgot from the beginning of the video. So I put up, what I shot on my shot scope every single round for those 3 days, and he had commented on there that he'd try to look up my GIN, wanted to know what my handicap is, he wanted some motivation, but he didn't see me on the Illinois database. As you guys know, I'm in the middle of something here, truck. As you guys know, Duffs of Darts is low budget. Duffs of Darts is all about as cost efficient as possible. So I don't actually have a USGA GIN handicap. I was tracking all my scores in 18 birdies, but it looks like there's been some adjustments on there. So even though I've been putting in my scores, it hasn't been adjusting my handicap on there. So I downloaded the Grint. It's a free service, free app until January. In January, they're going to start charging for it, but I put in all my scores into there. That's what I'm using as my handicap. No, it's not an official USGA handicap. We'll talk about what that's going to change with next year in a second. But I put all my scores in there. So, without telling you what it is, I can tell you that I'm no longer at a 20. As you guys have been following along, my 9-hole scores have been really well. 18's not so much, but this weekend really helped as far as what I was shooting there, especially on tough tracks. So, am I at a 10 yet? No. But I am close enough to the point where if I shoot a particular score next Saturday, if that's my last round of the year, if I shoot a particular score, I will be in the 10s in my index. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. We're going to save that for the end of the project because, got to keep you hanging on to that. So, Dollar, I'm not at a 20 anymore. I am close to my goal, but to find out what it is, you're going to have to keep watching Duffs of Darts. So, it's a longer video. I know you guys have been sitting through this for I don't know how many minutes. Hopefully my video is still recording. I can't even see it. But thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I hope that my motivation to do this video every single week, to keep practicing every single week, has inspired you guys to work on your game, has inspired you guys to try to get better, despite what your financial situation is. As long as you love the game, there's always ways to practice. We'll find out about that GIN stuff and how that's going to change later on in the project. Not going to tell you now. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Keep grinding, guys.